that happened again. So let's just get into it. All right. Sorry guys for what just happened. We were talking about the first match of this WrestleMania 19 card for this review, and for some reason the stream kicked us out and deleted everything. So we had to start over. And we were thinking it's because we ran out of time. Like I think it's just more. I don't know if we have like a lot of time or something. But yeah, something happened. It kicked us out. There's like a random glitch where it was like 4:04, meaning the stream was deleted. But I will take some responsibility. We should have stayed on time because we were supposed to do this on a Tuesday, and we ended up doing it today. So I take full responsibility for this. So I'm sorry.
So we do apologize for that. But
But yeah, Matt Hardy, Rey Mysterio, good match. Matt Hardy, Shannon Moore, great heels. But and then Miller Lite Girls, stupid. Limp Bizkit sucks. The Undertaker, Big Show match, boring. The Miller Lite Girls would run into Tori Wilson backstage, and she is admiring herself in Playboy.
Yeah, oh God, it's still for me. I still find it cringe looking back at the
dude. It is so cringe. And yes, we have a podcast. I have to do it right now, but
unfortunately,
we have to do this really quick. Stacy Keibler would walk into the room, but yeah, I find it funny that WWE was aligned with Playboy at the time,
which is really weird considering the fact that. If you have not read Playboy, I think for those who are we might be a little bit younger than.
Let's be honest. No adult that reads Playboy actually reads it.
Well, that's so. Yeah,
no one actually reads that crap.
If you catch our drafts,
that's the thing. No one actually reads it.
Yeah, thank you.
Because it is like part article, part nudie mag. That's the thing.
Which, whoever thought of that was a good idea.
Some old dude named Hugh.
But I mean, he was a genius after all. Okay, you got to give that man that. But yeah,
and every guy except for over the age of 30 thinks that guy's a god for that. He's not. He's a pervert. But Stacy Keibler would walk into the room and tell him about a marketing strategy. And we know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
We know where this marketing strategy thing is going. Then we cut to the ring, and then we have a triple threat match. Phenomenal triple threat match between Victoria, Trish Stratus, and Jazz. Jazz, criminally underrated as a wrestler.
Oh, absolutely.
Victoria, she gets her props, and Trish gets her props. I don't see Jazz getting her props. She should be in the WWE Hall of Fame right now.
You're not wrong. I mean, shit, wasn't she the very first woman to be part of that Alliance storyline or something like that?
She was the very first woman because she was in, I think she was either in WCW or ECW at the time. Either one. But this would be one of my favorite matches on this card. Very good match on the card. But it was very short. Yeah, I have a kid out here laughing and very loud, so I just look at the door really. But I can't really yell at her because she's 5. But so if you hear laughing in the background, guys, I'm just sorry. Bear with us. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
It was a very competitive match, but it was very short, capping at 7 minutes. But for the time, it was expected to have a short match
because the women weren't thought
women as highly. They weren't thought as highly as they are now. Nowadays you can get 10 minutes out of them, 15 minutes out of them.
I mean, we've seen women that can go 20, 30 minutes.
Now we see women in ladder matches, Hell in a Cell matches. Back then, you didn't see that.
No, they were just known as
they were just sexual objects back then, bro.
I know it's crazy. I mean, I know, but no disclaimer. I know it sounds bad as it sounds, but you had to look at the time period at the time that the 2000s was.
And I'm saying sexual objects in Vince's mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not calling them objects personally. but in Vince's mind, they were.
Yeah.
Vince sucks for that. I don't like Vince for that. But it was very competitive though, and Trish Stratus would end up getting the win. She wins the title, takes it from Jazz because Jazz was champion at the time. And then The Rock is being interviewed backstage by Coach, his favorite guy to screw with.
Oh yeah.
But he says that he could care less if the fans boo him. And he also says the Act 1 and Act 2 of his feud with Steve Austin will not compare to Act 3, which is tonight.
Yeah.
He guarantees a win at WrestleMania. It ends right there. He guarantees a win at WrestleMania. Then we cut back to the ring. It is the WWE Tag Team title match. For SmackDown, Team Angle, Los Guerreros, Chris Benoit, and Rhino. Now, the Raw Tag Team title match between RVD and Kane, and I think it was the Dudley Boys, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
That was relegated to Heat for no reason. I don't know why. They could have had that match during this whole weird cat fight thing.
And because for me, I'd rather have that than take out that damn filler segment. At least that'll make the show a lot better without that segment. I felt
I'm not talking about the segment. I'm talking about the match.
Oh yeah, that too. And
the match was pointless, completely pointless. And we'll get to that. They could have taken that out and put the tag team titles on there, but they didn't.
You're not wrong.
Gotta get their bra and panties fixed. What? And WWE back in the day, which is different, completely different than what it is today, completely. But it was a really good match, though, the tag team title match for SmackDown. But it only got 8 minutes. So we got a trend of like very short matches. 3 short matches to start this show. Team Angle would win this match. Very good match, though.
It was.
Very good match. But it was just too short, in my opinion. Just too short. And then we go to Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho. And can I tell you something right now? This match was the absolute best match on this show so far. The absolute best.
If I'm not mistaken, dude, this also led back to the Royal. This also stemmed back from the Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken, too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Royal Rumble back still in this time period.
Yes, because if you remember, at Royal Rumble a month prior, he would interfere in the Royal Rumble match. Shawn Michaels would interfere in the Rumble match and eliminate Chris Jericho from the Rumble. He would eliminate him. Yeah. And this would start this feud, and which would be like a very short feud. This feud ended at Mania. But this match went 22 minutes.
It was a solid match, though, for what it was.
And it was a fantastic match. And all the false finishes, this is the only time where false finishes would be allowed, in my eyes. One of the only times. Because the false finishes made it seem like the match would end at any point.
Yeah.
But they just didn't end it at any point. Michaels would win, Sweet Chin Music, after reversing a Walls of Jericho. And then Jericho would, embrace Michaels, give him a hug. But then he would kick him where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
Boop. Low blow. Which honestly didn't lead to anywhere. Because they would have another match on Raw. Michaels would win again. And then the feud would just end.
Yeah, it was just
over after that.
Honestly,
it just extended another week.
I thought it was a pretty decent finish to it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, I agree. And then we cut backstage, and if you remember, back to Royal Rumble, or actually no, I think it was either Royal Rumble or No Way Out. No, it was No Way Out.
No Way Out. It was our very first pay-per-view to start off 2000 to kick off.
Yeah, I know it was our first. I know it was our first. But if we go back to No Way Out, Rock versus Hogan, and the way that ended with Sylvain Grenier screwing over Hogan, aligning himself with Vince McMahon. Now we cut to current WrestleMania 19. We cut backstage to Sylvain Grenier entering Vince McMahon's office. What does he have planned?
I have no idea.
That's the question after this segment. What does he have planned? Why is he entering his office? He just enters. And then we cut to a vignette of Goldberg saying he's coming. He's coming to WWE. Goldberg will be here eventually.
This is okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is before Goldberg debuted on Raw in 2003.
Yeah, this was before that.
How the fuck do I still remember that? Like it was like yesterday. It was like
because it was one of the moments that we remember. But
it's crazy.
Then we cut back to the arena, and the attendance was announced.
Ooh, it's
54,097 people showed up.
Like you did not see one empty seat in Safeco Field at all.
There had to be a few because Safeco Field holds 60,000.
Yeah.
So there was a few empty seats, but not many. And then we have our halftime concert.
Ugh.
Limp Bizkit's back out there singing the theme for WrestleMania 19. It's
or think of this way, because I watched, because there was a music content creator actually said Limp Bizkit translates to weak cookie. Who names a band weak cookie? Basically, it's the way that's how it's translated. Like, damn, like you gotta be more genius, creative than that. But that's
the synonym for that band name is weak cookie.
Oh boy.
Then we go to the cat fight.
Ugh. God.
And here's how it was set up. There's a bed on the side of the stage, side of the ramp. The women get in. They're not wearing anything but their underwear, and they're fighting.
Oh God! Why the 2000s? Sometimes it was good, but it was also bad at the same time. Looking back at it.
This was so mind-numbingly bad.
God,
and do you know what? I was reading reviews on this too. You know, trying to jog my memory and write stuff down. There's a review saying this was the equivalent to softcore porn, and it was. And then Coach would get involved, and then they would pants Coach. It's over. And then they all embraced in like a high five, and then like they raised their hands, and it was
like what the fuck did I just
after this, the words that came out of my mouth was, "This was stupid."
No, I said this too. So this is basically what I said. It's like, what the fuck did I just watch? It's basically what my brain was telling me.
I literally was like, this is stupid. They could have had a better match on this card, yet they have that.
Like
they relegated the Raw Tag Team title match, the World Tag Team title match, for this.
I'm sorry, but at that time, that's where I want to punch Vince in the face because
I was like, oh my gosh, it was so mind-numbingly stupid.
It was so stupid, like you said. It was record almost. You basically say it's basically a softcore porn at that point. This is basically how it
is. They were in bed tussling in their underwear. That's what was happening.
It's just
until Coach got involved and they pants Coached. It was over.
Like literally, I felt like I want to bleach my eyes after seeing that.
I wanted to bleach my eyes too. Like, are you serious?
like you would think.
Like this was dumb. This was dumb.
It was so dumb. It's
literally, I wanted to skip this too.
I mean, the fact that we get Limp Bizkit on the stage and then we get this shit, like
it was
goddamn,
meaningless thing after meaningless thing.
like this is your biggest event of the this is your biggest event of the year. You're supposed to go all out, not have one meaningless thing, but you did.
And people said that this was the best Mania of all time. With those segments, that bumps it down to not being the greatest of all time.
I mean, you're not wrong.
If they would have had the tag team title match after that, I would have said the concert. You could axe that and it'd still be good. But they had meaningless segment after meaningless segment.
It brought some value down.
I was like, oh my gosh, dude.
But
it was a meaningless concert and porn. Like what?
Whoever thought about those two things will come out of our mouths, especially back then.
Really, that's what it was. A concert and porn. That's all it was. And it was so stupid. After that match, I wanted to just bleach my eyes. Bleach my eyes.
So you're not wrong, man.
I was literally about to turn off this show. I was going to turn this off.
Whew.
And then we cut to the World Championship match between Booker T and Triple H. I'm still mad about that match. Because of how it ended. It was a really good match. But the build-up set up so much for Booker to win this match. And they booked Triple H as the racist in this match. A racist.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The racist wins? You gotta be kidding me.
Like, this
you gotta be kidding me, man. The racist wins?
And if I'm Triple H, I could imagine how uncomfortable Triple H might have been in that situation.
Both guys had to have been uncomfortable in that whole thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I bet Triple H after this match had his head on a swivel.
Because I know he wanted to fucking kill Vince. I know that for a fact.
I bet he would. I bet Booker T and Triple H both were wanting to jump Vince after that.
I mean, because what did he say? It's like, some like you will never be world champion. It's like, oh, that's
what happened. No, what happened was backstage. And this is what happened here backstage. I think they were in a bathroom or something. And Triple H was using the bathroom. He used the bathroom. He flushed. Whatever. Cool. He runs into Booker T. And he tries to make him clean the bathroom like a slave. I'll pay you money. I'll pay you money. He basically acted like a dang slave owner in that segment.
Yes,
a slave owner.
And for those who are watching, yes, if you look back at it in the 2000s, Vince was so fucked up in the point of the head.
Was so messed up, man.
I mean, there were so many messed up moments out of Vince McMahon. And it just really pissed.
It all was Triple H. First, he tried to make him screw a dead person in a coffin.
And that was cringeworthy as fucking hell.
And they showed the entire thing.
Like, no.
In a video segment.
No, they say
him moaning and groaning and hated that segment. I wish I could burn that from my memory.
I think all kids who watched that throughout in 2003 should have burned that out of their memory.
Burn the build up to this match from my memory too. In the match, you let the racist win, Vince. The racist wins.
What sense does that make?
But then we go to our next match, which was the Hogan versus McMahon street fight. And honestly, it was a good stipulation for two guys over 50.
Yeah.
Very, very good segment. Or no, very good match. It went 20 minutes. Sylvain Grenier and Roddy Piper would get involved. to try and screw Hogan. And then Hogan would prevail, winning. He would still prevail, win the match at 20 minutes, 47 seconds. And then here comes one of the greatest matches on this card.
Yep.
The Rock versus Stone Cold 3. They had 2 other WrestleMania meetings. This is the 3rd one. And honestly, man, the chemistry between both these guys is just too good.
It was too good.
We had seen it in years past prior to this match. But their chemistry together in matches, man, too good. Way too good.
Oh, absolutely. Because if not correct my mistaken too, this is Stone Cold's last match, if I'm not mistaken. At the same time,
this ended up being his last match, but it wasn't booked as his last match because no one knew that it was his last match. He didn't want anybody to know this was his last match.
Looking back at it, it did kind of hurt as a long time, especially for me, who's been a long time viewer of the Attitude Era. Those were The Rock and Stone Cold were the faces of the Attitude Era. And the fact that
but this was his last match until 2021.
That is true,
because he had a real final match between him and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, I mean
I shouldn't say 2021. I should say 2022. Was it 2022?
No, it was 2020.
It was 2022. It was 2022. I got it wrong. I wrote
almost
it wrong.
about 19 years it was 19 years.
19 years to the day he came back to wrestle one more match. And it was great. It was glorious. But
and I'll say this too. I thought that was a better send off
than him losing to The Rock and
that, or you know who just won't. You kind of understand where I'm going with this.
The Owen Hart.
No, somebody else had their final match and can't.
Chris Benoit.
No, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Oh no. Here's the thing. He had his last match in WWE in 2008. Came back in 2010. Had his last match in TNA. Came back this year. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Just hang it up. You're like almost. You're pushing 80.
Pushing 80. You suck in the ring now. Like, just give it up. But anyway. Anyway, back to this. He kind of beat off the thing. But this was amazing. This was an amazing match. Rock would win. But I love what happened after the match. He sits up. He says something. I think it was like, thank you, love you, bro, and all their stuff. Pats Stone Cold in the chest, goes to celebrate. The mutual respect between these two guys, man.
I mean, it's just like you can't write that as best as it was.
Yeah, and then we see Stone Cold walk off, waves to fans one final time. He leaves. We will not see him again until late 03 in some capacity. But
yeah, it's just been so far. I mean, minus
fantastic match, fantastic show so far. Like you said,
it was been done as advertised, which nowadays it's like
except for the 2 meaningless segments. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, absolutely. Should not have been all. No, not just to me. So it was even the contract should not have even happened in the first place. So make that 3 meaningless things. If you're like
what
the Limp Bizkit contract, like I said, the other 2 meaningless segments. So that's pretty much 3 meaningless things.
I wouldn't say meaningless. The segment was whatever. You could write that off.
Oh yeah.
But the dang softcore porn-esque match that they had. No. Axe that. Put on heat or something. If you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Put on heat.
Or just scrap it in its entirety.
Or just scrap it. Because no one's gonna like that. If they did that crap today, pitchforks.
Pretty much.
It could be out. and I'd be out there with him. Then we have the main event: Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE title.
God,
Lesnar.
I feel like I remember it.
Brock Lesnar, he was too far, my dude.
That infamous botch that everybody talks about.
He was too far, my guy.
I'll say this too: the fact that he stuck, even though, like you said, it was too far, the fact that he didn't break his neck is a feat in itself. That he did not break his neck.
He landed on the top of his head.
Like how? Like sometimes I don't understand what goes through.
The only thing that happened is he had a concussion. Luckily, he was working Thursday and not, or no. Luckily, he was working. He was fine. I don't think he even had a concussion. He was just dazed.
I mean, it was just dazed. And if you don't have a concussion or a broken neck, you're one lucky bastard. I will admit.
He lucked out though. He could have had a concussion, but he didn't. He was just dazed. He just got his crap rocked.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had a concussion. He could have had a broken neck. The fact that he only came out so unscathed, despite being glossy-eyed, like
he showed up on Thursday and wrestled a match.
That's just like, dude. And at the time, we realized too, like, we know what Brock Lesnar is now at this point in his career, but you look back in this is like during his prime years.
This man wrestled 5-star matches every night. 2003.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have guessed?
Yep, who would have guessed? If you're a wrestling fan now, you wouldn't understand that he used to wrestle pretty good matches. But yeah, he was dazed after that attempt, and I wrote down too. Angle was too far away, Brock.
Yeah, I mean, I think
he literally was on the other side of the ring. Oh, let me just jump and do this flip, the shooting star press, and almost dang near give myself a concussion or a broken neck.
And it still worked Thursday.
He still wrestled the match and worked a Thursday.
I mean, damn, that's too goddamn.
But yeah, that was the main event of this show. What did you think of this card?
I thought it was a good card, like you said, but without the softcore porn BS that kind of have happened. I thought it was minus that, it's a solid card. Now, I will say where I will nitpick was that I want to see that cruiserweight title match be a little bit longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, and but here's the thing. Again, with that whole bed and the women tussling and the cat fight thing, whatever you want to call it porn, call it a match, I don't care. It's both. But they should have axed it and put it on Heat or something, or
just scrap its entirety.
The tag titles on the show. But you scrapped it for that? You put it on Heat for that? For that, sorry, excuse for a match.
It was some bullshit.
It was. I'm not going to give this match the moniker of it being the best of all time. It wasn't. And honestly, yes, they could have called it that at the time. It probably would have been at the time. But let's just face it, it didn't age well.
It didn't really age well to this very
because of that one catfight match. It did not age well, and it should not be considered by today's standards the best of all time.
No, you're not wrong.
I'm gonna have to give this event a 9.
I'll say 9.5 because I felt like that. Because for me, like I said, that one segment really brought it down. Not too much, but it was still a good show.
For me, it brought it down a lot.
Well, it makes sense. But I think overall, it was still a solid show for what it was. But
yeah, it was. But by today's standard, I wouldn't even give it a 9.5.
Absolutely. Well, at the end, at the time, yes. But nowadays, it's like, I'll say give it.
At that time, it was a perfect 10. It was a 10 across the board. But
looking back at it, I think 8 or 9.
Looking back, it's a 9.
I have to agree with you. I'll have to give it a 9 just because, like I said, because of the fact that, oh God, the fact that we saw that as kids in 2003, that was ridiculous.
We saw Edge and Lita screw each other inside of a
Oh
ring.
God, don't remind me that
Twice, not once, but twice.
Like 2000, like people don't realize, like, yeah, there was edgy, but that was kind of pushing.
It bordered R-rated. It bordered that.
Yeah, well, who would have thought? It's like SmackDown or WrestleMania could have had an R rating at the time in 2003.
Dude, honestly, I think WrestleMania 19 should have been TVMA.
I would agree with that for sure. And it was like
it should have been.
I think at the time it was like TV 14.
It was TV 14, but it should have been TVMA.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. But just because of the cat fight alone, and the fact with all the thing that has happened.
Yeah.
But I think, but minus that, I thought it was a solid show in its own right.
It was. But
it's just. But
yeah, that cat fight. Honestly, I'm going to give it an 8.5 because of the Taker match.
Yeah,
if you think about it. I 8.5 because the Taker match was like really boring.
Yeah,
but other than that, it wasn't a bad show.
It's just I wish it could have been a lot better in some areas. If I ever.
There's a few nitpicks here and there in this show,
but it's just ooh.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, when that one segment showed up, I'm like, how the heck was I able to watch this as a kid?
Because
I was literally 4 when this happened, and I was watching it. 4.
And take it from me, for a guy who lived through the Attitude Era, that's your really point. And look. Yeah, I know. Look, the Attitude Era. Now looking back at it, at the time, was revolutionary because I think no wrestling company would have pushed in the boundaries until WWE in the late '90s, close to episode.
No, they pushed it. They pushed it. Here's the thing: they pushed it way too far back then.
Oh, it did. I'd say what to like 2000,
2008. In 2008,
before the
summer of 08 is when they loosened the reign to PG. And the only reasons why that they went PG was the Benoit situation and the fact that Vince's now ex-wife.
So
Vince's now ex-wife went to be a politician.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So they couldn't keep the edgier content.
And not to mention, too, you also think in WWE at that time, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, they've been in a lot. God, you can imagine the amount of lawsuits they've been going through. The lawsuit with the WWF before they changed it to what they are nowadays. You had angry mob of parents and because it's like, oh, they didn't think.
Honestly, I can't. Here's the thing: people write the parents as villains for that. Honestly, they weren't even the villains. They were actually the responsible parents. Looking back.
Exactly. Looking back at it, because you got to realize, too, the Attitude Era was more toward like guys like us or young teens.
It was basically young teenagers to young adults.
I would say between like 13, like you think 13
to 40. That was their demographic. 13 to 40.
Yeah, because that's basically what it is, especially with the Ruthless Aggression era at the same time. But nowadays,
because you know how 13-year-olds are, their hormones are raging and all their stuff. So they're gonna do that for them. None of the stuff that we grew up with as kids were for us.
But somehow we were the lucky bunch.
Somehow we had parents that didn't complain to the FCC about stuff. We just were allowed to watch it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But I think, like I said, I think overall, I think this show's an 8.5 out of 10. Because, like I said, the Taker match, it brought it down even more. I thought
Taker match and that sorry excuse of a softcore porn match.
Yeah,
that's all it was. That axes it for me for giving it a 10 or 9. That takes it down.
Yeah, it really does. But I think overall it was still a good show.
Yep.
And the fact that we have not seen a packed house at the pay-per-view almost 19 years later in the home
That's
of
because
Extreme.
Vince lost it, man. Vince lost it, and he wasn't able to find it, and then he had that whole situation
Ugh.
forced him into retirement, and then Triple H knew the formula to make a great show, and he's done it. He's done it. And honestly, WWE is fixed.
Yeah.
They're fixed.
Because remember, we also talked about they were hitting the big red panic button.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were like pressing the panic button. People were getting fired left and right. You had a long laundry list of wrestlers being cut because they were losing money. Apparently, even though they're worth $1 billion, I don't even know why they were cutting wrestlers.
So, yeah, or cut catering for that example too.
They basically cut people who didn't look high upon, but they also cut world champions like Bray and Braun.
Don't trust me. Yeah,
the people that were doing catering, and weren't being used. Sure, fire them. I don't care. You're not using them anyway. But like Maria and Mike Kanellis, they weren't even being used that much.
And yeah, I mean, well, other than that though, like I said, I mean, I got nothing else to add to it. But like I said,
sorry, we kept pushing this back, and sorry for the technical difficulties. Which is why we had to axe the intro and everything like that.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I mean, I'm probably not going to have enough time because, like I said, me and Gooley got the football game later in about soon to be about 20 minutes, give or take, first kickoff. So, for those who are respecting to the It's Real to Me podcast, we do apologize. We're going to try to see if we can do it. I don't think. Well, we're gonna we'll see what happens. But like I said, we apologize for all the
technical. If you're not available on a Tuesday at like 6 or something, I'll probably have Gooley do it
with the review.
With the review, yeah. To help me out.
I think it should be around next coming Tuesday.
Yeah, but if you're not around on a Tuesday,
I'll let you know. I'll let you know ahead of time.
Yeah.
But like I said, we apologize for everything in advance because technology nowadays they're good, but sometimes they'll just suck ass on you. But like I said, we apologize for all of that.
Yeah, and I apologize that we didn't do this on time. This was my bad. My sleep schedule's been out of whack all week, and I've been waking up late, and I've been watching the pay-per-view. I finally got around to watch pay-per-view, I think last night. So
yeah, but other than that, though, like I said, I mean, come check me and Gooley out.
At Luther's Attitude
on
podcast on Friday. It's Roll to Me on Thursday, I think.
Thursday the 20th, yeah. So
Thursday the 20th, and then
before we do that, so I know because we were supposed to have it with the Extreme Rules recap, which we're still going to hold that to it anyways, even though I know I had to push it back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move that to the 20th. We're moving that.
Yeah, so we do apologize, but shout out to Butterfly.
We were gonna do this immediately following the pay-per-view review because we were gonna do it like 6:30, do a 30-minute thing, and then do the pay-per-view or the podcast at 7. But then technical issues happened, and that was out of our control until we fixed it somehow. Don't know what the issue was, what it lied to, but
absolutely. But
we got it in 38 minutes, almost 39 minutes. Fantastic show, by the way. Also sponsors. SeatGeek.
But yeah, so like I said, you want to check out SeatGeek? Here we go.
What's going on, everybody? Proud to announce the Spotlight Sports Network are partnered with SeatGeek. Save $20 off your first order for live events, concerts, and sporting events, and more. All you have to do is just insert the promo code Spotlight Sports Network to save today. Again, that's Spotlight Sports Network and save $20.
Also, I'm not going to screw this up this time. 25% off.
If you want to check out your Fanatics merch.
For Fanatics merch. If you want your jerseys. If you want wrestling merch. If you want baseball caps or something like this. the championship hats.
Check the links down below.
And
And
the links below. And again, I'm not scrolling this up. 25% off.
so don't miss out. And especially if you want to, so you don't want to miss out on the amazing deals. Also, check out our Phillies official merch down below. I'm gonna get, but yeah, so you guys don't want to we got some stuff planned.
We got some stuff for you guys. We got some merch for you guys. We've got everything.
But other than that, though, with that being said, come join me and Ghoulie at 8:15 kickoff between the Bears and the Commanders. God help my brain cells.
Honestly, dude, Thursday night football has been terrible.
Off to a terrible start.
They had 2 good games, week 1, week 2, really good start. And the last few weeks has been so bad. And to be honest, I might just watch your stream instead of the football game itself, because I'm not subjecting myself to that. I'm not subjecting myself to the game.
But other than that, though, with that being said, this is Robert and Tyler from the Philly Sports Podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one.